kid, I see you dreaming. Those dreams will carry you to places you can't even imagine. The world is yours. This city, Atlanta, is yours. All around you, north, south, east, and west. Everything you see started with a dream. This park, Centennial Olympic Park, was a dream my friend Billy Payne shared with me. Now the beating heart of a city that's always dared to dream. Risen from the railroads, rebuilt from the ashes, sustained by its spirit, where communities come together, business booms, and champions charge, where the lessons that launched so many dreams reach even higher heights, and where the man with the biggest dream of all remains an enduring symbol for all who dare to dream. Atlanta, host to the celebration of a century, where the music moves movements, hip-hop, trap, rap, 50 years of all of that, rock and roll and R&B and old-time fiddling country, a city where there's always something to celebrate, make history, determine our fate, the one place too busy to, well, you'll see, believe it, because Atlanta is that city that dreams to compete, to create, to connect, dreams to inspire, to serve, and to soar, dreams to lead, to learn, and look up. So, hey kid, what is your dream?
Me? My dream?
Yes, your dream.
My dream starts right now. Look up, Atlanta! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Tree-lined streets, historic buildings, and a gorgeous coastline. Savannah is a location scouts dream of, full of idyllic scenery that you can't find just anywhere. I'm Monica Pearson, host of Why Georgia. But there's more than beauty that draws TV and film crews to the hostess city of the South.
It feels like you're in a Cinderella movie all the time. It's so gorgeous here.
We've got the beach and we've got a very historic downtown, but we also have strip malls and we've got the woods. You can kind of make Savannah anything that you need.
I've seen us play Florida a lot, which is funny. I came from Florida and I've done more movies about Florida in Georgia than I ever did when I lived in Florida.
I have personally been on films where we've used downtown as 1970s New York, Boston, of course Atlanta, some San Francisco. You can use it for anything, and it's fantastic. It is literally cut and paste. What do you need? We got it here for you.
Crew members who live in Savannah know firsthand the city is perfect for everything, from period pieces to modern movies. There's another quality that attracts productions: the people.
It's known as the hostess city of the South, and there's a very good reason for that. No matter where you go, people are going to smile, they're going to say hello.
Attorney Charles Bowen, known as Bo, is an entertainment lawyer by day. Several years ago, he founded the Savannah Film Alliance to keep the city's status as one of the world's premier filming destinations.
When I moved to Savannah in 1995, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil had just come out. And when that happened, tourism in Savannah exploded. It didn't take very long for people to realize what a benefit that was to the entire city and the entire city's economy.
Since then, the city's reputation has grown, thanks to efforts like the Savannah Regional Film Commission, a liaison between film companies and the city.
At this point, Savannah is the second largest hub of production after the Atlanta area, and we really hope that the sky's the limit here.
That vision is shared by Stratton Leopold. He's the owner of Leopold's Ice Cream, and you can tell from the inside of the shop, he has quite the film portfolio.
I was in LA 20-something years. I had an office at Paramount for 12 years. I was on the lot there. I much enjoyed producing, being freelance producing.
His career launched as a casting director and eventually took him to become executive vice president at Paramount Pictures. Now he's back in Savannah, testing out the latest ice cream flavors and taking on projects he's passionate about.
I eat a lot of ice cream. I love it. Apparently, I was always talking about missing it and being in it. And I was living in LA at that point, and to think of living in Georgia and still making movies in those years especially was maybe, maybe not. But now, of course, everyone lives around the world and still makes movies. So it's a perfect situation.
Just like Mr. Leopold, working in a place that's home is like a dream for crew members living in Savannah.
Not having to commute, to have everything here and raise a family and work and doing what I love all at the same time is probably as close to a dream as you can possibly get it.
I grew up in Woodbine, Georgia, and it's a pretty small town. And never, ever would I have imagined that this was like a thing that I could do.
I love Georgia. This is where my family is. This is where my friends are. This is where I grew up. I know this city, Savannah, and Atlanta like the back of my hand.
I've had a lot of job offers to go other places, to move away from Savannah, but I find myself knowing that Savannah is coming up. We are the next big thing. Why would I leave that?
Production teams are busy in Savannah, and you'll likely spot some scenes in a few upcoming movies. Thanks for watching this episode of Why Georgia. I'm Monica Pearson.
It really is a game changer when you have a community that's really ready to embrace film production and all that it brings.
It's about having a vision, right? You have to be forward thinking. Think about how we can be better, how we can evolve. Partnerships is really about relationships. For Assembly Atlanta to be where it is and so close to Dunwoody, when we talk about filmmakers and production crew, when they come, we want them to know Dunwoody is here. 12 minutes from set to bed.
We're very fortunate to have a huge crew base here in Atlanta, but there's also a lot of people that have to come to the city to work that have never been here before. So to have the amenities that Dunwoody offers, to have the hotels close by, to have restaurants, to have entertainment, it's extremely important because it makes this property more enticing for them to come to because of the proximity.
One of the great things that we've had as we have gone through this entire process of building is working with Discover Dunwoody. As an organization across the board, Dunwoody has been fantastic.
They have a genuine interest in this business. And they've been active and they've been proactive and talking to people within the industry and to find out what they need when they go to shoot on location, when they're looking for a hotel.
We want to make their jobs easy. What is it that you need? What is it that we can do to help take something off your plate that we can do? We understand, we are destination experts. We know what it takes to make things happen in Dunwoody.
I honestly can't think of another word other than amazing. When you need something, they give it to you. They ask questions, they actually worry and care about what it is that you need. And for me, that makes a difference.
We have a team that's been deployed from the assets of what we have in Dunwoody, whether it's locations for filming, for housing, for dining, shopping. I can't say enough about the shopping opportunity.
Discover Dunwoody and Assembly Atlanta, I think, really align in providing all the clients that are coming into our site with the same high-end experience when it comes to all of the type of services that we provide.
The team at Discover Dunwoody has been one of the most professional, efficient teams that I've ever had the opportunity to work with.
Ray and his team are all in on film. They recognize the opportunity that this studio brought to their community, and they're dedicated to being responsive. They're dedicated to what it needs to happen to make sure that the production is able to operate quickly, efficiently, and really enjoy their time there.
State-of-the-art studios like these under construction at Assembly Atlanta attract hundreds of productions every year. But small towns sprinkled across the state have their draw as well. I'm Monica Pearson, host of Why Georgia? The productions that take over our small towns often leave a large economic impact even years later.
So many productions here now, it is hard to keep up with.
On a Friday in October, thousands of people flock to Covington, Georgia, about 35 miles east of Atlanta.
I'm Charlotte. I come from France and I'm here for the tour.
They're all in town for one reason: the chance to meet the cast of the popular TV series Vampire Diaries.
We were in Charleston and then we go to Charlotte. So we make a little detour by Covington for this.
Tourists from all over the world come to visit Mystic Falls, even though the series wrapped in 2017.
And I asked everybody where they're from. We had 3 different families here from London. They didn't know each other. They just happened to all be here at the same time. So we have visitors from all over the world. And we're excited to kind of show off our little town and you know, extend some Southern hospitality to all of them.
To keep the crowds entertained, the city opened a new section of its film museum filled with props used in the series. From there, fans can jump on a tour like the Vampire Stalkers, taking them to several of the most popular film spots.
They make you think that they're in the woods, but they are not. They are actually in the struggle.
Okay.
While Vampire Diaries still draws a lot of interest, it's not the only major production to film in the city that's home to less than 15,000 people.
And we've had over 150 productions, you know, here in our community. It's been many different towns. It's been Mystic Falls, it's been Hazard County, it's been Serenity, you know, and several other you know, townships as well.
The productions leave a lasting mark with benefits for the entire community.
In 2021, it was estimated $100 million in tourism spending in Newton County. And that saves about $200 a household in terms of taxes. A lot of other cities around the United States just don't like filming, the amount of disruptions it may cause, but if you look at the long-term benefits, I think they outweigh the minor inconvenience for a day.
We're looking at close to 100,000 people coming through this visitor center this year, so we're so excited that people are visiting our community, spending time in our community, obviously spending money in our community. You know, this is a wonderful part of it as well.
The business boom is part of what attracted Cinelease 3 Ring to transform more than 160 acres in Covington into studios.
The small town feel of Covington and its film history with its built-in backlot with the town square in Covington, plus the available land that allowed us to build this facility and have room for expansion was a major draw.
We have serviced the First Lady on Showtime that first season. We've done P-Valley Season 2, NBC's Dancing with Myself, as well as Wild 'N Out Season 18. Those are just a few to name, and we have some filming right this second.
And construction is already underway to more than double the available stage space.
We are adding 8 new sound stages, a brand new office space, over 100,000 square feet of office space and vendor support space. We added 2 new mills. They're actually up and ready. So we're expanding quickly and rapidly and excited to take on new clients in 3rd or 4th quarter 2023.
It's all about being able to provide our clients with more options and more stages and more space.
Cities and towns all over Georgia are also embracing productions. In Northwest Georgia, the city of Rome recently took its downtown area back in time to the 19th century for the TV series Kindred. And then there's Sonoy, south of Atlanta, and home to the post-apocalyptic series The Walking Dead. The town is now full of themed shops, restaurants, and tours. While these towns may be small, they're ready to leave a big impact on the TV and film industry.
We're always looking for the next big thing, with productions, and we don't know. We may have the next, major motion picture that's filmed right in our backyards.
So where will scenes from your favorite TV shows or movies be filmed next? Possibly one of Georgia's small towns. For Gray Television, I'm Monica Pearson. Location scouts spend countless hours searching for the perfect spot to set the scene for movies and television shows. One college in Northwest Georgia has filmmakers flocking to campus. I'm Monica Pearson, host of Why Georgia. From the 1970s to today, this liberal arts college has appeared in numerous time periods and places. Located among the 7 hills and 3 rivers in Rome, Georgia, you'll find the world's largest college campus.
Say it's twice the size of Manhattan Island. So 27,000 acres or about 44 square miles. Same size as Disney World down in Florida.
Berry College President Steve Briggs has been at the helm for 17 years. During his time, he has seen a variety of productions filmed throughout campus.
From the time Martha founded Berry, 1902, she loved to bring people to campus and to show it its distinctiveness. So having films here is just a part of that. We like having visitors all the time, but to be able to take some of the locations, some of the images, some of the opportunities and showcase that to the world is pretty great. The first big film here was Remember the Titans in these buildings right here behind us. Berry is an attractive place for filming because we have so many different kinds of scenic opportunities. So we are residential, we're academic, but we also have this agricultural history, makes it very distinctive. You see some of the big films, the ones everybody knows about, Sweet Home Alabama, Stranger Things, but every week or 2 weeks we're getting a call about a possible video shoot or filming shoot of some kind.
Chris Kozel is fielding those phone calls and letting location scouts know everything their campus has to offer.
We definitely get calls about whether it's possible to film at Berry, what we have, maybe they're interested in a particular architecture style. Usually they've seen the Ford complex, which we're standing in, English Gothic, some people say Harry Potter, so that's kind of what draws them here, but then they'll find our Georgian architecture, the red brick buildings with columns, our log cabins, just a lot of the beautiful scenic places we have at Berry, and they're just so excited. I can see some of the scouts in their mind, their wheels are turning, oh, I could have this for another movie or this. So I believe it's probably ramped up within the last 7 to 8 years for sure. Some students are super excited and want to know every detail. Some are just stressed about finals or their exams and they need to get to the library. But I think in general, it's a really positive experience.
Students studying film are reaping the benefits of these major productions rolling through campus. Some of them are getting real-world experience by working on set.
We had the fortunate experience of interning on Tyler Perry's 688, which was a really cool opportunity.
I was really, really excited and honored for the opportunity to be able to work as an intern PA on set, but I was also kind of terrified because I didn't know what to expect.
It's amazing being able to see them and being able to see the lighting setups and how they're able to flip the entire campus to make it look like one thing or the other. Things like that was cool to see and experience.
So there's something really familiar and even a little bit surreal about this space on campus that has become like home, that is so familiar to me, being turned into something that just looks completely different, of a different time, of a different era. I love the experience of getting to see all of the equipment and to see all of these industry professionals and everybody working together, and the actors and the creativity and just the scale of some of these sets. It is an amazing thing.
Opportunities are endless across the 27,000 acres, and the future of filming here is bright.
Financially, we've been able to do upkeep on our historic properties, which is very important to us, and we appreciate that. So that's been a benefit as well. And I love showing film scouts and production designers around the campus.
The opportunity for generations of students to see these great films come on campus, for generations of students to be involved with meeting, the producers, the directors, the actors on occasion. That's just a great experience. And to see how they transform our campus into something even beyond what we normally do with it, it's pretty special.
Berry College is just one of many beautiful locations to film across Georgia. Keep an eye out. You may see some of the locations on their campus being used in your favorite television show or movie very soon. For Gray Television, I'm Monica Pearson. The same tax incentive that fueled film production in Georgia also contributed to the rise of another industry, gaming. I'm Monica Pearson, host of Why Georgia. We caught up with some of the state's top gamers to see how a combination of talent and technology are laying the perfect groundwork for gaming growth.
Nice! I've been gaming for a long time, since 7th grade, and always was excited about the idea of working in the game industry.
There we go. What really made me fall in love with the competitive space, people just all connected through the love of gaming.
A lot of people know Georgia these days for film and TV, of course, because they see that peach on their favorite movies. But I thought for a while that Georgia had the ingredients to really be a center for gaming and esports.
Skillshot CEO Todd Harris started his own recipe for gaming in Georgia back in the early 2000s with High-Res Studios. Just before the pandemic, he took on a new venture with the production company Skillshot, along with the esports organization, Ghost Gaming.
It's really all about building a large, inclusive gaming community.
A community that is growing worldwide with a lot of people wondering, how can I join the fun?
When it comes to gaming, it requires creative talent, like film and TV, but also technical talent, like software, and Georgia has both.
There's a lot of routes to get into gaming, from whether it's content creation to marketing to the business side behind it. You can be a player, you can be a coach, you can try to become a manager.
You do have people that are paid to be a professional gamer, and they make millions of dollars if they're the top of the top. But just like sports, that's the 1% of the 1%. So a lot of the work that we do at Skillshot and at Ghost Gaming is help young people understand the other careers around the pro gamer.
We met some of the most elite players in the space when Atlanta hosted a week of gaming events. Girl Gamer and DreamHack were part of the festivities that drew in thousands of gamers and streamers from around the world.
My name is Queen Manda. I'm a loud pink hair streamer with a lot of chaotic energy, and I'm also in Ghost Gaming.
Don't you hit me! I knew what you were trying to do. I knew what you were trying to do, Jackbox.
My name's Michelle Statham, aka Tactical Grandma, and I play video games for a living, mostly Call of Duty, a little bit of Fortnite, some Escape from Tarkov.
Your friend's really bad, and so are you using a shotgun.
If someone wants to get into content creation, don't quit your day job yet. It's a long process, but just have fun with it, be yourself.
My entryway of gaming was just so I can be entertained, find relaxation. It was like a coping thing when I was growing up. It was something fun while I was going to school.
Queen Manda and Tactical Grandma have millions of followers combined. While they checked out what Georgia has to offer to the gaming world, they also shared encouraging words to the next generation of gamers who are dreaming big.
I'd like to be a streamer, like gaming. I also like art, so probably a lot of artistic games. My favorite video game is probably Roblox or Gang Beast. And I kind of want to be some type of a gamer engineer.
Gaming is quietly the largest segment of the $2 trillion global entertainment industry and is showing no signs of stopping.
I hope for the future of video games is that it keeps growing and it starts becoming more normalized, that video games is like, it's a hobby, it's past a hobby. It could be a career, it could be entertainment. And I think like it's being that way to this day. I think it's getting there very, very quickly.
Why Georgia for Games? One is the talent that we have here because of film and TV and software and our university system, Georgia Film Academy and many great universities like Georgia State, SCAD, Kennesaw. Many of them have programs. You have companies like a Skillshot, like Gray and Assembly that are investing in the creative industry. And then culture. If you're making a game, you're making entertainment. And clearly with film and with music, Atlanta and Georgia has staked their claim, and so we can lean into those same cultural elements for gaming as well.
It's an incredible area to be able to host events like that, from different gaming events to being able to develop games here as well as host tournaments here. I mean, it's the mecca of the entire Southeast. I mean, this is the cultural melting pot of the South, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere, unlike anywhere else.
Grab your controller or keyboard. Georgia is on a journey to become the epicenter of gaming. Thanks for watching this episode of Why Georgia. I'm Monica Pearson.
Gainesville is one of those places that is transitioning from being a bedroom community to a really cool place.
Well, I have the opportunity to live anywhere I want to, but the quality of life in Gainesville is very high.
I've lived here 30 years. It's a fun place.
You feel like you're part of something when you're here.
Couldn't find a better place to live, really.
I love Gainesville, but I think it's a nice blend of everything.
Gainesville's kind of centralized around the square. So you've got the nice shops, a lot of nice restaurants. There's a great energy during the day. The possibilities are limitless.
When you're part of a community and you build this rapport with your customers, there's no failing, which is one of the reasons we stayed so long.
There's a lot of shop local, a lot of smaller businesses, and a lot that they can build their family upon.
And here I'm creating not only something for me, but something for the community. And that there's that direct, tangible return is so fulfilling. People should do it.
You move here, we don't want you to just be trapped at your house. We want you to be involved in the community, have places to go. The Botanical Gardens has been a great plus for our community. If you go a little further north, you got Lake Lanier Olympic Park. We're investing in that right now.
It's a beautiful place, but it's growing. A lot of exciting things happening.
One of my favorite attractions is our Highlands to Islands Trail. When it's completed, we're going to have about 35 miles of trail. Our parks throughout the community are vibrant. We're constantly rated in the top 10 percentile throughout the country.
The climate in Gainesville is great. We've got all 4 seasons. If you're a golfer, beautiful thing is we play golf 12 months out of the year. We're right here on Lake Lanier.
We have thousands, tens of thousands of people who go on the lake every weekend during the spring and summer. We're always going to embrace that.
The whole setup and what they've been doing and all the changes and the upgrades, it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
It has history in it, so I think that's what makes it beautiful.
At the end of the day, people want to be involved in a place that people care, and I think that's Gainesville.
That's open to everybody. You know, no matter who you are.
Every couple months you walk, there's something new. So it'll be fun to see what happens as we grow.
This time next year is just gonna be crazy. Trust me.
Location, location, location. For production teams, finding the right location is one of the secrets to success. From small towns to the ocean to the heart of Atlanta, Georgia has so many unique locations to choose from. I'm Monica Pearson, host of Why Georgia. Join me as we take a look at some of the most popular filming locations in the state and how they're transformed into so many different places and times. You might recognize this house in Rome, Georgia from Stranger Things, or perhaps the streets of Savannah from the feature film Devotion, or the Jackson Street Bridge in Atlanta, famous for The Walking Dead. No shortage of premier filming locations. To show us Georgia's top spots, we enlisted the help of a location scout who knows these spots inside out.
I'm Darius Tucker. I'm a key assistant location manager and a location scout. I truly love the Candler Hotel, a lot of the history that's there. I truly adore it.
The architecture inside the Candler Hotel is just as incredible as it is outside. And Michelle Bradley knows it all.
It's been amazing how many different sets and concepts that people have walked into this door and said, you know what, this will work for this. Our current owners, it was very important to them to maintain the historical aspects of this building.
The historical details are an instant draw, and most productions use the building as is.
There's very little work to be done when you're using our By George restaurant because of the marble columns, because of this expansive windows that are there. We even have the vault downstairs that held the the original recipe for Coca-Cola for a number of years. But that vault is still there. That's a favorite of art directors.
A few blocks away is another top spot for many Atlantans, the Tabernacle.
This is the historical Tabernacle. It's actually one of my favorite locations. I love the multiple different looks. I know they filmed Avengers here. They filmed a few other Marvel projects, and there's like so many different looks you can get from it. I know they did a lot of fight scenes in the alleyways here. You make it simulate New York City, fire escapes, hatches, and everything of that nature.
Once a Baptist tabernacle, the Tabernacle is now a performance venue with spaces including a hand-painted worship hall and an exclusive VIP space.
And one of my favorites is the VIP room. It's a lot of different older architectures, a few vibrant colored statues and things of that nature. I just love it.
Our next stop is nestled in between buildings in Midtown Atlanta.
Here we are at the Wimbush House, a place with a lot of history and a lot of films. It is one of my most favorite locations to film at because every time I've been here, there's a different little city, there's a different country, and it's all Atlanta. And it's one of the few locations you can film at that's right here in the heart of Midtown Atlanta.
Home to the Atlanta Women's Club since 1919. Many of the home's features remain more than 100 years later.
The openness of
of the home. A lot of the architectural details, the arches, the columns, and a lot of the windows, the leaded windows, are original to the house.
The home's arrival to the big screen started with a phone call, then transformed into a relationship that's beneficial to the film industry and the Atlanta Women's Club.
One of the first ones was an episode of Married at First Sight. They filmed a wedding here. Most recently, there was a movie with Anne Hathaway. I have had the best experiences with production companies in the area. They leave the place looking better than when they came, so we are very film friendly.
Just down the road from the Wimbush House is Piedmont Park.
I've been here for a lot of different films, TV series, and commercials.
The park has been used in everything from Spider-Man to Anchorman 2 to Marvel movies. Every part of the 185 acres provides different looks, but one of the challenges is finding the right place to construct a set.
Sometimes it gets very crowded, and we try to keep our footprint small when we're here in the park. The last thing we want to do is damage the beauty and the nature of this place.
Whether it's a trip back in time at the Swan House, a table at a restaurant like the Olympic Flame, an airport terminal scene filmed at the Georgia World Congress Center. Georgia has so many opportunities, especially in the historic city of Savannah.
We have an aesthetic that doesn't look like any other city. You do have the different time periods. That's the thing. Like, you can actually literally go blocks, right? And you can start like in the 1700s and then go to the next block, 1800s, and then the next block.
And while there are so many beautiful locations, TV and film productions also leave a meaningful impact.
What I love about it is that when we go into lower income communities, these are people who didn't expect this money. So when you give them that extra money, that money automatically goes back into the economy, like immediately.
Georgia is everywhere, and our state's versatility provides so many benefits for our communities. Thanks for watching this episode of Why Georgia. I'm Monica Pearson.
Waiting for sunshine. Ooh, waiting for sunshine. Waiting for sunshine. Ooh, waiting for sunshine. Waiting for sunshine.
The Georgia Film Office recently celebrated a huge landmark, more than 50 years of attracting TV shows, movies, and more to our state. I'm Monica Pearson. Join me as we take a look at our humble beginnings and how they set the stage for a huge success.
Anything that needs beautiful scenery, mountains, lakes, rivers, is what draws the film industry to Rabun County. It's just such a beautiful place.
While Georgia's arrival to the big screen dates back to the 1940s, the state experienced unexpected growth from a film in the 1970s.
Deliverance brought an awareness to the Dillard House and our business here that was just phenomenal.
Nestled in the mountains, the Dillard House has welcomed guests from around the world for more than 100 years. The numbers began to grow after Deliverance.
Because of the movie industry, I believe this area was introduced to tourists in Florida, in Georgia, all over the world actually. And tourism over the years has grown significantly.
Filmed on the Chattooga River, the American thriller starred Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds, names still discussed decades later.
I was in my teens when Deliverance came, and oh my gosh, it was a big deal, but mainly Burt Reynolds, you know, he was the hot stuff. And I worked in a jewelry store, and he came in to buy gifts. He was very charming.
Burt Reynolds has since then, even when he was not filming, he has visited the Dillard House on a number of occasions to eat here and enjoy the area. He loved it here, he really did.
Deliverance drew in more productions and launched an entire new industry, whitewater rafting.
We had a lot to learn about rafting on those rivers. On the Chattooga, nobody had rafted it until we made the movie Deliverance.
Payson Kennedy served as a stuntman on Deliverance.
They did film us for 2 days in the 5 Falls. That was great fun. I was made up like Ned Beatty, so I was Bobby. They patted my middle and sprayed my hair blonde and painted on the bruises and cuts. I was pretty sure one brief glimpse was us. You could see it wasn't the actors themselves. It was just amazing to see how they filmed this over several days and then splice it all together to look like something that happens in 5 or 10 seconds.
After the movie, Kennedy founded the Nantahala Outdoor Center, known for guided whitewater rafting trips.
We wanted it to be a community of outdoor people that enjoyed teaching others about the outdoors.
This county had always been a tourism destination, in particular Tallulah Falls, but Deliverance put us on the map. That was really the turning point with the river rafting companies, and it really took off from there. It was definitely a turning point in the tourism industry.
You probably wouldn't look at the script of Deliverance and say this is going to be a big tourism generator, but it is.
More than 50 years after Deliverance, the TV and film industry continue to choose Rabun County as a popular backdrop.
We took off and it never slowed down.
With films including Christmas on the Range, Hillbilly Elegy, Blue Ridge, and Doggone just in the last decade. And when productions are in town, they're spending unexpected money.
It's always a real boost to the economy, not just the restaurants and hotels and motels, but to the entire community. It is the ultimate tourist, and they're always so nice.
The next 50 years will be tremendous to watch. I'm Monica Pearson.